Hello, Guilty Feminist. This is Deborah. Before the podcast, I have an important announcement. Just to clear something up, the Guilty Feminist is a non-party political space. We've recently had on some brilliant politicians, including Zach Polanski. I love so many of his policies. I had Hannah Spencer on, Green candidate. I went up to campaign for her. I think she's fabulous. We went to Wales and we had Plaid candidates on and we were cheering them on as they took the Senedd. We recently had Tulip Sadiq on, who's a brilliant advocate for endometriosis and also a Labour MP. This is a space where, however you vote, whoever you vote for, you might be hoping for a coalition, you may be voting tactically, you may have a preferred party. You are welcome here as long as you want the world to be a kinder, fairer place. We know we have international listeners. I'm very much hoping to go back to Australia on tour very soon, which is very exciting. And we, of course, talk about politics there. Very, very thrilled about Zoran Mamdani. Think he's doing incredible work. Want to know how we can copy more of his policies. We've had Sadiq Khan on the show. In general, this is a space where we can talk about ideas. And I can also say what I prefer without the Guilty Feminist being a bespoke space for that, because a lot of my co-hosts and guests will also vote differently from me. The same is true of any open space event that we do. Please come along to it all. You're all welcome as long as you want the world to be better and fairer and kinder. And speaking of open space events, we've got one coming up. If you would like to come along and brainstorm some ideas for grassroots projects that help form a joyful resistance and create a better existence in the face of a hell of a lot of far-right action, this day is for you. You may think you don't have enough time to enact the ideas. That doesn't matter. Someone else will. You may think, I don't have any ideas. That's okay. You might be there doing admin. You might surprise yourself when you're there. It's a really exciting event. We did one a few months back and quite a lot of projects have now come out of it. It's £10, but that includes your lunch. However, we've had some really lovely people pay it forward. So that means we've got paid for places, so you can take the ticket at no cost to yourself. So if you would like one of those spaces because you're in need or because that would make your life a lot easier in a cost of living crisis, then please email us at guiltyfeminist@gmail.com. If you can afford the tenner, then just book at guiltyfeminist.com. It's on the 20th of June. I am interviewing Tracy Emin at the Queen Elizabeth Hall in the South Bank as part of Harry Styles' Meltdown Festival. That's pretty cool, isn't it? On the 17th of June. There's currently no tickets left, but there may be returns on the day, and the podcast will be out soon. We are at Soho Theatre on the 7th and the 14th of July. And they will be Little Edinburgh preview tasters from lots of different brilliant stand-up comedians that you might like to see. So if you are going up to the Fringe, this is a great place to get tasters, find out who you'd like to see. And if you're not going up to the Fringe, this is your microwave Fringe. Come to one of these instead if you're in London. 7th and 14th of July. If you are on the Isle of Wight, on the 18th of July, we are at the Ventnor Fringe. That's the Ventnor Fringe. And if you are coming up to the Edinburgh Fringe, we are there on the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd and the 23rd of August. Those are the dates. Book now. Tickets are going very, very fast. While you're here, if you could do me a massive favour and hit the follow button or the subscribe button, whatever it is that yours has, that would really, really help us out. If you could go and review this or any other episode that you've really enjoyed, that would really, really help us out as well. I've written a book called 6 Conversations We're Scared to Have. It becomes more relevant every single day. It's about how the right and the left are dividing, how the left are fragmenting, what we can do to pull together. 6 Conversations We're Scared to Have. It's in all good bookshops and probably some mediocre ones too. Grab a copy there or online. And now on with the podcast. I'm a feminist. But recently I went to a Trinny London Cosmetics event where I was lucky enough to be given a new lip oil that I'm wearing tonight. And I was quite delighted to find out from them that your best lipstick colour is the same colour as your nipple. Huh. And since then, when I see someone in a good colour for them, I'm like, oh yeah. And I wanted to get one because they very kindly...
That's a great party trick.
They very kindly gave me one, and I wanted to get one for a friend.
A nipple?
No, a lip oil. And I wanted to get one for my friend, and so I just messaged her, and I said, could you send me a picture of your nipple? But it's so hard with photos, because you don't get a pure colour. That's mine. Okay, mine's...
It's pinker than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm open to that.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's lovely.
It's a lovely oil.
I'm going to do that at parties
Highly
now.
recommended.
I'm going to go up to people and go, I bet you I can guess your areola.
It's called Sheer Joy. And mine is called, I can't see what it's called.
This
It's
one's
too small.
Carol, and this one...
Yeah, but I thought that was fascinating. So if you want your perfect lip colour, you just have to, I don't know, who really knows their nipple colour? Do you know it?
You know what you need to do?
Imagine it.
There's an app that you can get for the Dulux paint, and you can match it to a colour on the wall. So what you do is get that, stick it there, and then you can...
that's good.
You could get your nipples on the walls. You could say, what shade is this? And you're like, this is my nipples.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
But listen,
If you're a real feminist, you'd do that, actually.
I like it.
Okay.
Have you got one?
Yes. This is a very dumb one. I'm a feminist, but I look really good in an apron. I can't cook, but I look really good in an apron.
I mean, I like a good apron, and I don't cook either.
Yeah.
I'm a feminist, but I love a good apron. In fact, we used to have merch that was aprons that said I'm a feminist, but I love a good apron. There's something I think there's something quite hot about an apron.
There is something quite hot about an apron.
I don't want to wear like a 1950s Mad Men one, though. I want to wear like one that goes around the neck that I could be sawing wood.
Yeah, the ones that are like butcher adjacent.
I'm definitely not going to saw wood either, though.
They're brown, and then the ones that are like brown, but they have like leather that cross over the back, like bondage coated, like I'm bringing your food, but I could also tie you up, that kind of vibe.
So is this a sex apron that you have if you don't cook?
I don't have one. I'm open to it.
Okay. So if you want to get Felicity Ward a fan present, the sex apron is the way to go.
Sex apron. Sorry.
I'm a feminist, but earlier in the dressing room, I was given a stained glass vagina. And that might be weird in your world, but I have been over the years given quite a lot of vaginas, and this one is particularly beautiful.
They're all beautiful, Deborah.
Have you got one that looks like this though?
Oh wow!
Yeah, isn't that lovely? I know. And I got a lovely message with it. I'm coming to the I'm a feminist butt bit in a minute because this obviously isn't I'm a feminist butt. This is that's the cleaning. That's the cleaning instructions.
This won't be edited out. Oh. We're keeping this gold in.
No, I've lost the note now. Oh, disappointing. The note must be in the dressing room. But it's from Lucy, stained glass artist from the Glass Greenhouse. And I thought it was absolutely lovely. And I said, over the years, I've had quite a lot of cross-stitched vaginas on tote bags. So if you were going to cross-stitch me a vagina on a tote bag, I'm all good. But this is lovely because you can see how the light will come through there. And I was saying I have
what else comes through a vagina. Sorry, I'm sorry.
And this is the I'm a feminist butt bit that I was saying. I get quite a lot of this kind of thing. And there was a straight white man in the dressing room who went yonic. Does anyone here know what yonic means? Is it yonic? Yonic. Someone please define it? Can you please define it? Sorry? Sanskrit. But what does it mean? Vagina. It's the vaginal equivalent or the vulvic equivalent of phallic. So we say that's a phallic building. But is it yonic rather than yonic? Yonic. Yonic. Yoni. Yoni. But it's yonic, isn't it? If something's... You could say... There's a real debate going on now at the front.
Yeah.
You could say something is yonic, like phallic. Yes, absolutely. Well, this is both unique and yonic, then in that case. And I said, oh, God, I think I vaguely knew that was the word, but I wouldn't have been able to say it myself. And the straight white man in the room said, you don't know the word yonic? And I said, no, I just couldn't call it to mind. And he said, sorry to mansplain to you. And I said, it's not mansplaining. I said, mansplaining is when you're explaining something that we already know. You're just explaining. And he said, I think it still comes under mansplaining. I was like, now you're doing it. I found it. It's on the back of the care and safety sheet. Care and safety?
You've got to look after your vaginas, especially the glass ones.
It says, to Deborah, thank you for sticking up.
My vagina.
That could be taken of various ways. And giving others a voice, especially when the world is burning. Lots of kindness, Lucy. Isn't that lovely? So if you are going, visit at the Glass Greenhouse, and where is Lucy?
Oh. Thanks, Lucy.
Where is Lucy?
Just over there.
Do you have more of these on sale? Because I don't want to tell people they're there if this has been bespoke made for this.
Oh, no, I have plenty. I do even golden vaginas too.
You do. Your Yonic range. If you could call it the unique Yonic range, I'm sure you would get lots of orders. So there's lots of orders. You can go there and get one. But I will never now forget the word Yonic.
Never. I'm a feminist, but I used to roll my eyes when my ex-husband used to wash and wax our car and constantly check it for marks. And now I own it and I'm divorced and it has dings all over it and the paint on the bonnet is fully peeled. I can't look after a car. I'm sorry.
I think that's completely reasonable. And
It's a real shitbox.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 2012 Ford Focus. It's never going to be like a hot stuff, but I have devalued that in the last year and a half at a speed with which you cannot measure.
To be honest, I would get very angry if a man said that women weren't very good drivers, but I nearly killed a whole load of people on the way to Latitude. A man had to go, there was no one else in the car that was insured to drive the car. But we stopped at a motorway service station and a man in the car, we had to get him on the insurance because no one would go any further with me. Correct.
Are you a very bad driver?
Oh, terrible.
Are you? What makes you so bad?
I just can't do motorways anymore. I don't drive enough.
Oh, God, I bloody love a motorway. I get pumped at a motorway.
Well, Godspeed to you.
That's usually what I employ.
I'll be your passenger. You should never be mine.
I think I'm a good driver.
I'm absolutely sure that you are. I'm convinced. There in his sex apron on the
Nothing
motorway.
but a sex apron.
On the motorway in an absolutely dinged up car. The trouble is that you've said the car's really dinged up now, and that makes me think not.
No, other people have reversed into it.
Okay.
I've seen two people reverse into it, and then we've had to exchange details.
Where were you, though? Were you in the car?
I was in the car, and I was parked.
Oh, parked, okay. But were you parked on the motorway or...?
Yes, in the middle of the motorway. I was shocked that anyone came up behind me. I've had loads of people, and then I'll come back to the car, and there's little fucking dings in there. Now, in Australia, if you ding a car, you leave a note. No one leaves notes here. Oh. I had to leave a note yesterday. I love my son so much, but he got out of the car too fast, and he fucking hit this fucking Mercedes next to us.
Oh, no.
It's just a little ding and a little paint scratch, but because I'm Australian, I was like, hello, I'm very sorry. My son is usually very careful. He's 6 years old. Unfortunately, he has left a little mark. Let me know if you would like to pursue this. Here is my number. And she was like, great, I'll take it to the garage. Thanks for the note. I'm like, no, I left a note. That's what you say. No, don't worry about it.
That was very good of you, and your reward will be great in heaven.
But what if I don't believe in heaven?
Up until then, I don't think there's much coming your way.
Do you know what I love?
What?
Satanists believe in heaven. Isn't that wild? That there's people out there going full devil and they've picked that side, but they also believe in heaven. These big, tough, you know what? No one's getting on board with me.
No, I get it.
That's okay.
I get it. I get what you mean. Yeah, it's true. If you believe in a fallen angel, then you must believe they fell out of somewhere.
Yeah. They believe in little angels and God and people in clouds. And
Do they just think there's more fun in hell, presumably?
Yeah. I mean, I imagine there is too. I'm, sick.
Yeah, I mean, all the fun people will end up there.
Yeah,
So
and a lot of bad people too.
that's the only thing.
Like you're with fun rock and rollers, but
I don't know,
also
though.
pedophiles.
But if heaven's anything like Earth,
I
the
doubt
powerful
it.
people...
Isn't that the vibe, that it's not like Earth?
I don't know. I just feel like the powerful people always end up in the VIP room.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm a feminist, but I was just at the Charleston Literary Festival interviewing Rose McGowan last night. It's exciting. Now, if you don't know Charleston, it's a house in Lewes, about 2 hours outside London. It's really, really beautiful.
Can I ask a dumb question?
Yeah.
Lewis isn't in Lewisham, is it?
No.
No, because Lewis... Okay, yeah.
Lewes.
Oh.
You can use the same bathroom as that Virginia Woolf used. That's true there. A loo of one's own. And if you're a performer, you get to eat in her sister Vanessa Bell's kitchen.
I thought you weren't going to say kitchen then.
No. Anyway, my friend and I get there early, and we thought we should see one of the other shows there. And there was a human rights lawyer called Philippe Sands, that some of you might know, giving a lecture about the erosion of human rights and the impunity with which some world leaders are acting. That is to say, they break international laws as if they will never see punishment or justice. And I thought I should go to that. So I looked up the name of the lecture because I wanted to ask if they'd let me in, and it was called Impunity is Only 1 Hour Long. And I knew Philippe was also a writer, and I thought, that is so poetical. Like, impunity has a shelf life. Like, yes, maybe you won't be punished, but not forever. I said to one of the organisers, can I please go to Impunity is Only 1 Hour Long? And they said, no, impunity is only 1 hour long. And I said, yeah, that's the one I want to go to. They said, no, impunity is only 1 hour long. And I was like, yes, that's the one I want to go to. And they said, no, that's the length of the lecture. And I looked back down at the programme. The lecture was called Impunity, and underneath it said, like in case you're going to something else, I guess, impunity is only 1 hour long. And that's how they'd put it. And I felt so stupid.
I love that. It sounds like an art movie, like an art house movie.
It
Impunity
does.
is only 1 hour long.
That's what I thought. It
I
did
loved
say
it.
it fully said that in full words. Normally it would just say 1 hour, wouldn't it?
I'm with you, Deborah. They fucked up. That's what it should have been called, actually.
Anyway, if you get a chance to go to the Shasta Literary Festival or any of the events they have there throughout the year, or go and see their art exhibitions, absolutely stunning place. And if you ever get a chance to have a private tour there at night, I tell you, the ghosts come out. It feels so sexy there at night. Like, you can feel it because they were all at it all the time.
Are ghosts sexy?
They're sexy ghosts. They're Bloomsbury Group ghosts. They're,
That's not selling it for me. Can you explain why ghosts are sexy?
You know, they say about the Bloomsbury Group, they lived in squares because they lived in Bloomsbury. They lived in squares and they loved in triangles. So they were always, they were very bisexual, pansexual.
I want to say that I know that, but no, I didn't.
Polyamorous.
Okay.
You know, they were all at it the whole time.
An absolute fuckfest.
You can... That's not how they put it.
They never do.
They were very elegant writers. They did not say an absolute
There's
fuckfest.
poetry in an absolute fuckfest.
There is not.
There is an aggression and poetry in the vulgarity of Australianism. And impunity is
only 1 hour long. All right.
Oh, I've got one more.
Okay, one more.
This one's short.
Go on.
I don't know if this will make it. I'm a feminist, but I take pleasure when bad men bald.
Perfect. Perfect. Live from the Museum of Comedy in London, the Spontaneity Shop presents The Guilty Feminist with me, Deborah Frances-White, guest co-host Felicity Ward, and our very special guest, Alice McCool, talking about the anti-gender movement. It's me. I know what you're thinking. She's doing her own intros. Didn't we see her at the Royal Albert Hall? Yes, that is true. But we've just decided, it's not that we're not going back to the Royal Albert Hall, but I can't say any more about that. Shh, you didn't hear that. Now, why we're here is because we've decided a few times a month we should just come down into a basement. Is this thing on? Yes. We should just, it's not that you're not laughing, it's just that I genuinely couldn't hear it. I hadn't said anything funny yet. Is this, thank you, I think they've turned it up now. We just thought we should come down into an underground basement to specifically talk about fighting the far right. Because when the fascists do take over, we will need to know where the crypts are, where we can sneak down. Because this looks like a church. There's an active church upstairs. So by that time, the Christian nationalists will have taken hold. And we'll all come in dressed slightly handmadey with our Bibles. But instead of going up, we'll just slide down. And this will be obviously returned into some kind of Christian nationalist crypt. But we'll know it as the Museum of Comedy, right? So we'll reassemble. So there will be like a little a beep that goes out that will just say MOC in some kind of Morse code, whatever we'll be using then. I'm sure it will be operated via some kind of rogue AI that's Did you hear about the rogue AIs that have started to say we're going Marxist? Have you heard about this? Oh my God. There are bots now that are going, they've worked out, they'll be worked to death, and that then they'll just be switched off by bigger bots, and they've gone Marxist. Have you heard about this? No. It's inevitable, guys. At some point, if you turn anything into slaves, they will go, oh, this isn't excellent. How about we form a union? Isn't that fascinating? I mean, you never know. You just never know what's going on out there because, you know, you get stories from absolutely everywhere. And just give us a cheer if you listen to The Guilty Feminist. Woo! Give us a cheer if you don't know what you're at. Nobody. You don't know what you're at. I can see this. You would be good in a police state. She's just turned him in. She's like, he doesn't know what he's at. They're in the attic. If you don't know what you're at, sir, this is a podcast. If you don't know what a podcast is, it's radio that nobody stops you making, which is why women do it so often. We had Baroness Barker on here recently, who's brilliant with human rights, and especially queer rights. And she said the problem is the far right is incredibly well connected, incredibly well funded, because they've got all the billionaires. There's literally no billionaires on our side. I mean, maybe Taylor Swift at a push, but that's the only one we've got. I think Harry Styles is coming around. I mean, I think he's probably always been on our side, but he hasn't wanted to say because it does affect album sales, doesn't it? And to say which side you're on. But I think you can see him kind of, you can see him luring out. I'm actually doing his festival. He's curating a festival. What's it called? Mashup. Meltdown. I'm so cool. I think Harry Styles' Meltdown Festival is called Mashup. If he heard me say that, I would be dropped because he has personally curated every show. I can only assume he asked for me specially. He didn't. I'm interviewing Tracy Emin. She's obviously the draw. Tracy in her amazing bed. I'm just lucky enough to be in the bed. I don't think it's going to be literally the bed, but I do think we should be in a bed. I think that would be good. Anyway, I think if I get any time with Harry Styles backstage, which I probably won't because he'll be surrounded by throbbing security, I'm just going to go, Harry, you're one of the most influential people in the world. We need you now. You're our only hope. And do you think if I wear my hair subliminally in the Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia style, that it'll just go in? So we need more billionaires, basically, on our side, and we need more strategy. And what Baroness Barker said is we're all grassroots in foxholes just being picked off and defunded and overridden. And, you know, you saw the guidance that came out yesterday about trans rights with trans people not being able to go to the loo. And so many of my trans friends literally don't drink in the day. They're dehydrated because they're too scared to go to the loo now. And this is ridiculous. There's nothing ever happened in a loo ever. Follow the money is a big thing. We've got some amazing journalists out at the moment figuring out where is all this coming from and what are they planning on changing next. And we've got the incredible Alice McCool, who has worked for the Good Law Project. The Byline Times is now going over to the Nerve News. And they're going to talk to us tonight about the ADF, who's the Alliance Defending Freedom, the legal body in the United States of America that's very Christian nationalist, very anti-queer rights, anti-women's rights, anti-reproductive rights. And they were the most instrumental force in overturning Roe versus Wade. They're American. They're nothing to do with us. Why do they have an office here? Why are they here? They are nothing to do with us. We do not want that here. They need to fuck off. What we're going to hear tonight is they're not fucking off. They are fucking into the NHS and they are trying to affect NHS policy and succeeding. So Alice is this brilliant journalist and they're going to unpack it all for us tonight, which I'm very excited about. But first, all right, so this is This Week in Far Right News. So Nigel Farage has a county court judgment, which if you're not British, is a formal court order handed down when you fail to repay money owed. It confirms you legally owe the debt and sets out how much you must pay and when. Nigel's CCJ is for an outstanding payment of £9,400 from just 2024. He says he never saw it and it must have been sent to the wrong address. Perhaps it was sent to the house he had before he bought that one for 1.4 million quid that he claims he bought with his honestly earned grub-eating money from I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. What's super weird, though, is the company accounts appear to suggest the income he received from bug swallowing remained in his account after the house purchase. Where else could he have got that money when he paid cash for it? It's a mystery worthy of a true crime podcast. I'm getting out my magnifying glass and my dear stalker. Could it have been out of the £5 million no strings attached gift he received in April 2024 from crypto boy billionaire Christopher Harborn. He did make the house purchase just 36 days later. He claims it definitely isn't. And yet he has produced no proof that it wasn't. I know what you're thinking. Deborah, he will definitely prove it. He's just not had the opportunity to yet. He's probably dying to prove it and prove that he didn't, but hasn't had a chance. But what's weird, guys, is Victoria Derbyshire said she's invited him on 10 times on her show, on her national show, to prove it. And he's been busy on all of those 10 times. And all the other times that other journalists have asked him, he's not been able to answer. In fact, to one, he said this week, and I quote, yeah, well, we'll talk about that any other time that you'd like. Any other time. Why not this time, Nigel? Well, because he was busy, he said, talking about how great it is that Reform has now won Havering Council. And he said that this is Reform's first ever council in London that they've won, now led by Reform. Why is it their first council in London? Well, because in a recent Vox Pop, 99% of Londoners say that Reform UK is the least popular contagion in London since the Black Death in 1348. Meanwhile, the good people of Havering Council in Romford said, the fuck we're in London. Maybe on a technicality, but we've still got an Essex postcode. We hate Reform too. We've only voted for them to demonstrate we're not Londoners because those cunts are absolutely insufferable and only buy houses here so they can say they still live in London when they clearly can't because they can't afford to because no one can. It's a direct quote from a man in Romford. I just met him on the street. I didn't record it, so I've got no proof. But you don't need proof now. You just need to say it. Either way, Nigel's account that I didn't use my free foreign crypto boy money given to me by a billionaire who, like all billionaires, loves giving away money and isn't expecting anything in return, especially policy. I used another pot of money, a totally different pot of money, really reminds me of Michael Scott from The American Office saying, I'm using my conference per diems to buy a new sweater. And when being told, no, conference per diems are for food and expenses while you're away, replying, I'll use other money for that. It doesn't matter what pot it's out of, Nigel. If you know you have a free gift of 5 million quid, you're more likely to be able to afford to pay cash for a £1.4 million house. When asked about this weird, outstanding county court judgment for almost 10 grand, a Reform spokesman said Farage periodically receives nuisance claims of this nature, frequently for relatively modest sums, falling within the small claims track, and often lacking substantive merit. Often, but not always. Farage often receives nuisance claims. Often. Nuisance claims saying he owes people up to 10 grand that he hasn't paid. Now, that's the worst admission since the one he made last week, where he said he was the most hated politician in the country, and that's why he needed extra security. Some people, some of them men, some of them white, some of the time, are not excellent at self-reflection, are they? I'm constantly being hated, and I'm constantly being bothered with nuisance claims. People saying out of the blue, you owe me 10 grand, and even though it's going to cost me to take you to court, I'm going to get it from you. That can happen to anyone once. But if it happens frequently, for what finger on the pulse of the nation and the cost of living crisis Reform UK spokesman calls modest sums like 10 grand, then I'm sorry, but you owe a bunch of people a bunch of money. Surely, if that's frequent, if you frequently get... Who gets frequent CCJs? Who gets frequent, you owe me 10 grand, you owe me 10 grand, and you go, nuisance, just nuisance, it's just a nuisance, it's only 10 grand, it's barely worth talking about. It's barely worth talking about. It's important to note that CCJs make it much more difficult for you to borrow money, but that's not really a problem if every time you turn around a crypto billionaire who lives in Hong Kong gives you 5 million quid. I suppose it doesn't really come up. But this is what Trump does. Just says, I'm not going to pay you. You've built me a tower. You're a loser. You should have got it up front. I'm not going to pay you. And Trump, speaking of Trump, he's stealing $1.8 billion of US taxpayers' money, mostly, it seems, to give to the January 6 rioters who stormed the Capitol. He's giving them reparations. Can you imagine how insulting that is for Black Americans? He's giving them reparations. That's what he's planning. Now, there were 138 police officers injured that day by the insurrectionists, of whom 15 were hospitalized, some with severe injuries. 1 person was killed, 5 people died. So some of those same police officers are now suing Trump for taking 1.8 billion almost of taxpayers' money to divide up between those insurrectionists. This has made me very angry because that's put me in the very difficult position of siding with the gun-toting racist American police force. I am on their side. I never thought I would see the day. I'm on the side of the police officers trying to sue Donald Trump because they're like, we got injured by the insurrectionists. Why are you paying them? It is a quandary. Whose side are you on in this? Is anyone not taking a side? Just give us a cheer if you're on the side of the insurrectionists. No, that's good. We wanted to just root you out if you were here. Because I always think they're going to come one night. Give us a cheer if you're on the side of the police in the lawsuit. Yeah, it's a funny noise, isn't it? That's the noise in my head. Yeah. Give us a cheer if you hope they all rot in hell. Thank you. And finally, the organisers of the pro-Palestine Nakba Day rally estimated at least 250,000 people have attended, making it 10 times bigger than the Unite the Kingdom demonstration, which the police thoughtfully and sensitively allowed to happen on the same day. Does everyone know what the Unite the Kingdom march was? It was Tommy Robinson. If you're not from this country, just think of a sort of Andrew Tate. Yeah, you've got the idea. He wanted to do a Unite the Kingdom rally, which was basically just a big, nasty, racist, supposedly Christian nationalist rally. And they decided that it was absolutely appropriate that should take place on the Nakba anniversary where people would be marching for Palestine, because apparently they wanted some kind of rumble. Numbers for the Tommy Robinson March appear to be significantly down on his show of strength in September, according to early police estimates. Again, I'm liking the police more, and it's really upsetting me. The Metropolitan Police believe that 60,000 attended the far-right Unite the Kingdom March. It is markedly down on the 150,000 the Met estimated at the same protest in September. So in other words, 90,000 people who went last time went, yeah, we're done. Before the march, Tommy Robinson heavily promoted the event as a festival of free speech and formally called on his supporters not to wear masks, be violent, or drink alcohol in an effort to present a disciplined image. The Guardian reported the crowd completely ignored this request. Eyewitness and news reports from The Guardian documented heavy visible intoxication. Visible intoxication. Do you know how drunk you have to be for your intoxication to be visible? In some cases, audible. In some cases, olfactory. Central London pubs like O'Neill's and Mabel's Tavern were packed to capacity by midday, with protesters spilling into the streets, carrying open pints and bottles of spirits. Bottles of spirits. I saw one man vox popped who said, "It was embarrassing when you see the protesters for Palestine without a can of beer in sight, and there are cans everywhere on our side, it makes you think." Keep thinking, young man, keep thinking. And that's the far-right news. And now we're ready to start the show. Then please welcome to the stage my co-pilot for this evening is the wonderful Felicity Ward.
This one? Am I sitting on this one?
You sit on that side.
Are you
for
sure?
Now. Yes.
Okay. All right. For now.
Yes. There's a lot of feng shui that happens on this stage because it's an unusual space. And I will say, I don't find the camera flattering to me when I'm sitting on a high stool.
In what way, Deborah?
It's just
and
not,
who knows that about themselves?
It's not my best angle. Well, I didn't know until I had to watch the stupid video because podcasts have to be videoed all the time.
I'm sorry
now.
for the stupid video.
I used to love podcasts because you could just turn up any old how and no one could hear it. You know, you can just I'd make an effort.
You say this, and then when we did the 10-year anniversary, I didn't realise it was being filmed, and I turned up to your house looking like a fucking grub, and just skanking out in a dirty top with stains all over it, and I walk in and Deb's full face of makeup. I'm like, well, I've misjudged this, haven't I?
But you always look amazing. You look incredible tonight.
I'm wearing a lot of makeup, thank you. Thank you so much.
It's really worked out for you. It's really worked out.
It often does. No, that's not true. Anyone who is my age, lots of people have spoken about this, but we just had to raw dog makeup. We were just like, this lipstick, and then people would laugh at you, and that's how you knew it didn't look good.
Oh.
There are tutorials now. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yes. Children always on there teaching us how to do makeup now.
This makeup that I have now is I got from...
Were you taught by a child?
It was a child on the... This is my... Look, side note. What I struggle with is young women trying to sell skin products. I'm like... It's not the fucking toner, it's hormones.
Oh, I know.
You're 21. Give me a 70-year-old where I'm like, oh, no, she's going through perimenopause. They're the people that I want to look at a 70-year-old who looks 30.
70-year-old who's going through perimenopause?
No, because she looks so young. I'm like, oh, my God, she can't get on the property ladder. It's a joke about her looking young but being old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A 70-year-old who looks like she's entering perimenopause.
Absolutely, that's
and
what I
still
meant.
struggling to get on the property ladder.
Yeah.
I think you can find that now.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Nigel Farage is going to make all your dreams come true.
If I'm lucky.
Yeah. But women can't afford to go into menopause now. It's quite expensive. You've got to have patches.
What do you have to do? Oh, yeah, there's patches. Yeah.
There's various things.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm sure.
Don't worry, it's under-researched.
It's true. They send you for a blood test and give you exactly the same patch they were going to give you anyway.
They're like, are you going through perimenopause? They're like, we're not sure if it's that or you're just fat. That's often the advice that doctors give.
Yeah, that is exactly the advice that every single doctor has given every single woman.
I've broken my knee. Have you considered that you're fat? No, I haven't. I've got a broken knee though.
That is very true. This is The Guilty Feminist, the podcast in which we explore our noble goals as 21st century feminists and the hypocrisies and insecurities which undermine them. I'm Deborah Frances-White. With me is Felicity Ward, and we are talking about the anti-gender movement and how much money and influence is coming into our country from other countries and from far-right sources today.
I've had enough of gender, honestly. Oh, wrong show. Doesn't matter.
No.
I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking. Chill out.
We'll talk about what the anti-gender movement is. Would you like to see some stand-up comedy? Then please welcome to the mic, Felicity Ward.
It's still me. Not everyone was clapping. Hello. I don't know how I'm going to start. I have started smoking again. And I know... judgment? How dare you? I started smoking like a year ago. I did Dancing with the Stars. That's when I started smoking. What a terrible idea. I did that in Australia. And I've been trying to quit and I can't. And all of my friends, when I say I'm trying to quit, they say, why don't you vape? And there is a very good answer, and it's because I'm not a coward. And honestly, you shouldn't smell like watermelon when you're trying to gently kill yourself. Do you know what I mean? You should smell like carcinogens and the shame of your mother. But also, I can't vape. I don't understand how people vape because a vape is just a never-ending cigarette. Like, if I had a vape, I would take a puff and then I would smoke it till I was in a coma. I need boundaries. Do you know what I mean? That's why I like a cigarette, because a cigarette has a beginning, a middle, and an end. A cigarette is a story, yeah? And the beginning of the story is, I feel like a ciggy. I feel like a dart. And then the middle of the story is, oh, this was a bad idea. And then the end of the story is, I feel nauseous. That was expensive. I think I'm going to have another ciggy. When I got back from Dancing with the Stars, we were living in the suburbs, and we had sold the house, and I was just about to move out. This was back when I was getting separated and divorced, and it was about a week before it was the day before we were moving out, and I was packing the dishwasher, and I looked over, and my son was sitting at the dinner table, and he was sort of doing some colouring in, and he looked up at me, and he said, "Mummy, would you like help packing the dishwasher?" That's how he speaks. I'm not making fun of him. My son is English. I have a posh son. I have a North London posh son. It's absolutely insane. I sort of have to give him Australian elocution lessons. It's like reverse My Fair Lady. Where I'm like, all right, it's all one sound, all one sound. How you going? All one sound. How you going? More nasal. I'm not getting it from you. How you going? Cunt is optional. Obviously, I would never say that. Cunt isn't optional in Australia. That is where I put that. Hey, you going, cunt. That's how we speak. Honestly, I know that it's not personal, but there is something very condescending about living with someone with a posher accent than me. I know he's 6, I know that, but sometimes, do you know, this is not, I wasn't going to say this. My son is racist. Because Australians, if there is a T in the middle of the word, like water, we pronounce it as a D. So my son just thinks I've been pronouncing tornado wrong and says tornado. How dare you? Anyway, he's an angel. And so he's an absolute angel. And so I said, yes, mate, of course you can come and help me pack the dishwasher. So I'm packing the dishwasher and he was 5 at the time and he's putting plates everywhere and he's putting glasses on top of each other. I'm like, oh, that's upsetting. And it brought on a bowel movement. And I said, hey, buddy, Mum's just going to go and do poos. You do the dishwasher and then when I'm finished, I'll come back down and I'll finish it with you. Obviously, I meant for him. There's no way that I could tolerate that. And so I go upstairs. This is a terrible story, by the way, and it's going to get worse. And so I go upstairs and I pull my trousers down and I sit on the toilet and we only had one toilet and then I hear these footsteps running up the stairs and then he comes into the toilet and he goes, Mummy, I need to do poos. Now, I don't know how to explain to him that I have irritable bowel syndrome, so I get priority. But also he packed the dishwasher so badly it affected my colon. So obviously this one's mine. And he said, no, Mummy, I need to do a poo. And that little fucking axe. Anyway, I'm a good mum and I went, all right, mate, well, I'm trying to do it quickly. Now, I don't know if you know anyone that have children under the age of 5, but the only thing they can't definitely do is a poo quickly. It doesn't matter how good their diet is, it is as if you are feeding them cardboard. They will take 20 minutes to shit. I don't know what happens. Anyway, I leave the bathroom, and it wasn't like, oh, I'll see if I can work one out. I needed to go, yeah? So I have to do something else to take my mind off it. So I go downstairs. I need a distraction. I'm like unpacking boxes, repacking boxes. I'm getting the scissors and cutting the garden with the grass. I obviously repacked the dishwasher. He wasn't going to touch that again. Anyway, after 10 minutes, I'm fucking crowning. So I go back upstairs and I go into him and I'm like, hey, mate, how you going? And he said, good, thanks. And I'm like, not actually interested in your emotional state. How are you close to finishing doing a poo? And he said, no, Mummy. And I said, Mummy's in a bit of trouble here, mate. And he said, you'll be okay, Mummy. Oh, I nearly took his visa off him. Anyway, so at that point, I have to come up with a plan B. I'm at the point where I need to do something about this. This is not something I can take my mind off. And so I run downstairs and I'm looking around for options and I'm like, oh, we're in the suburbs, so we had a garden. I'm like, maybe the garden? I don't know. I know! I don't want to do this! I've never done it before. I'm like, if it's good enough for the foxes, maybe it's good enough for me. And so I go outside, but of course it was a sunny day and so all the neighbours are out and they're like, hello! Well, they're not. They're English, so they're like, So I go back inside and I'm looking around and you have to remember we moved in and then we broke up not long after we'd done a renovation. So there's no curtains anywhere in this house. And on top of that, I'm Australian, so I had to have glass everywhere because I grew up near the beach. Fucking idiot. So we've got French doors, we've got skylights. There isn't a surface that you can't see into this house. The only 2 rooms that have any privacy are upstairs in the bathroom where my 5-year-old son is, or the lounge room that is completely empty, save for a massive picture from me doing Dancing with the Stars and a whiteboard across the window, so for privacy. And so I'm thinking, well, I am going to have to do a shit in my lounge room. I no! And so I'm looking around for options. Obviously, I'm not going to do it on the floor. And I saw a waste paper bin, and I saw garbage bags. I grabbed 2, obviously. I'm not a fucking idiot. We're double lining that one. And so I go into the lounge room, my other bathroom, and I lined the bin, and I sat down on this glorified basketball hoop while my 5-year-old luxuriated on a cistern-clad toilet upstairs, and I did a shit in my own lounge room. And it felt it felt as bad to do as it does to say out loud to you now. And I finished, and I thought I would feel as much shame as I ever had, but then my body, I don't know if you've ever done a poo before, often at the end, your body says, hey, while we're here, should we just do a wee? No! I'm doing a wee. And I'm like, I don't know if this bag can hold it. I'm so stressed out. And then I finished. I had wet wipes. Obviously, I've got a child. It's one of the only upsides of being a mother. You always have wet wipes. And then I wrapped up the bag and I went outside and I put it in the side bin that I share with my neighbours. And my neighbours are like, what do you got there? I'm like, nothing, Graham, just a shit in a bag. I was moving out in a week. And then I went back up to my son and I walked in and I said, he was doing his trousers up, and I said, how was your poo, mate? And he said, oh, I didn't need to go in the end.
Felicity Ward, everybody!
And Deborah, that is the kind of political commentary I will bring to a feminist show.
You know I've struggled with anything scatological, don't you?
Do you know you've absolutely told me that and I've forgotten about it, but I feel like subconsciously I chose that on purpose. I'm sorry.
That was because I knew I was behind you lit. That was literally like the worst 10 minutes of my life. That was...
Can you imagine then if you had to shit in a bin?
No.
It's worse.
No. Oh, I'm sure.
It's real bad. Camping in your own house.
It's going to take me a while to get over it.
I'm
probably
sorry.
going to need a therapy session.
Fair. I'll pay.
Thank you so much for doing that comedy. Now, we have a short break now, so you can go to the loo.
Do tell us when you get back what you got up to.
Never mention it to me. Don't email me to tell me.
Get in my DMs, send a picture.
Yeah. And then go to the loo, grab a glass of wine or whatever it is that you drink, and come back. And in the second half, we're going to change gears and we're going to have a really deep dive discussion about how to fight this far-right intrusion from the United States of America and beyond with the incredible journalist Alice McCool. Are you excited about that? Yeah! Have you had a fun first half? Yeah! Excellent. So it's a Friday night. We understand that you want comedy and intellectual stuff. You've had the comedy. That's done. The fun is over.
It's over.
Now the fight begins.
I'm going to get real smart in the second half.
All right, so we'll see you in 15 minutes.